I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
I'll finish up.
Good evening, Bob. Everyone at home. Okay, public comment on agenda items only. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Okay, I have 3 sets of
Thank you.
minutes of previous meetings, October the, let's see, we'll start out with October the 23rd. I have a motion to accept.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. October the 30th. Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And November the 6th.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
June, that was it, right?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Can't see with them, can't see without them.
I received a letter tonight from Ag and Markets, which is still sitting on my desk, so I'll give you the gist of it. As everyone knows, during the storm, we lost our dog pound. That went washed away. So at the present time, we don't have a dog pound. And we also don't have a place to bring dogs by agreement. So they have us in violation of ag and market laws, and they're giving us 1 month to, I'll send you the letter, I just got it tonight.
Okay.
Giving us 1 month to do something about it, which I don't exactly know what we're going to do about it. But that's communications. Financial reports. I transferred $232,903 to the paying account. The Village of Highland Falls water bill was $151,485, which Kelly, in ballpark numbers, that's our normal bill has been
This is $40,000 lower than our
40,000.
our last.
And that is one big leak we found that was down by the Sacred Heart Chapel. So that's good news. And that's good news that we're not putting chlorinated water into the ground through a leak. The Rockland County Solid Waste, we paid $16,286 for sanitation. The health insurance premium was $45,264, and our legal fees was $9,366. Board have any questions on those? Nope. Okay, board liaison reports. Dean?
Starting with me, going to be really quick. And good evening, everyone, and folks at home. Just with the in the rec department, basketball registration still remains open, and the winter workouts for baseball and softball are starting Sunday mornings the first week of December at the Highland Falls Intermediate School. And we're just working on trying to lock down the times that we're gonna have them. So it's been a quiet month recreation-wise, and but one thing I do want to note, though, I'm sure most everybody has gotten an annual pantry raid flyer at their front door. Just try to remember to give to the annual community food drive sponsored by John and Patrick Flynn. They've been doing it for 19 years. It's been a great thing for the community, and keeps our cupboards full. So bags will be dropped off to the houses beginning November 12th, which today is the 13th. So and I have mine, and then pickup will be November 19th between 12 and 4 p.m. If your bag is not picked up, you can call 845-641-3981, and they'll come and get it from you. Please make sure your bag is visible from the road, and feel free to add bags. Please, no money. Money can be donated directly to the pantry. The food will be distributed to local food pantries. And that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Councilman DeWitt?
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. Pretty quiet here, too. The big thing with the Highway Department, Gary Boyce has let us know. I know it's time for leaf pickup in the community, but we have the truck that works the leaf vacuum is still in the shop. They're waiting on a couple of parts, he told me, but he expects any day now, because I know people got leaves to the curb everywhere in the village and the town. So just please be patient just for a little bit more time, and they'll be out on top of that soon. Supervisor's got good news regarding the dial-a-bus. I'll leave that to you. What else? That was pretty much it. I just want to say thank you. We survived another political season, and congrats to the people that have served, and congrats to the new people that are coming on board. I just want to remind everybody, and please, I don't mean this to sound as a lecture of any sort, but I'm really proud to serve up here with these gentlemen, and soon to be Nancy Sporbert. I feel like we are pretty open about everything, and if you hear anything out and you got a question, everybody here on this board is accessible. Please follow up with any information you have, any facts, or if you hear anything, whether it be rumors or whatever, and you want some clarity, please reach out to us. We have nothing to hide, and that's a promise. So just as the year goes on, again, we're happy to serve, and hopefully we'll. I'm glad to see some faces here tonight too, and people keep coming and seeing what we're up to, because we're happy to tell you everything we're up to. That's it, Bob. Thank you.
Councilman Sullivan?
That's it?
Sir?
That's it, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got, man.
All right.
Yeah, really.
I have a little bit more.
Should we
All
set
right,
the
so,
timer?
as I always repeat, at every meeting, the Zoning Board of Appeals meets on the third Wednesday of the month. That'll be this Wednesday, 7 o'clock here. They have an applicant from Mearns looking to set a public hearing on a project. And there was one submission for a Main Street property, but it didn't make it in on time, so that'll get looked at in December. 7 o'clock here, Wednesday night. I'm not the liaison to the planning board, but they meet, just letting people know, they meet the third Thursday, which is this Thursday. I'm not sure what they have on their agenda, but they do meet here at 7 o'clock. Water. We had a 4-inch PVC line break last Thursday in the building up at Corbin Hill. That's the second time a plastic line is broken up there in a year. So we have the tank isolated at the moment. We're going to replace that line with steel. When we bought that building, I wasn't on the board at that time, Corbin Hill used to treat, and they had a bunch of tanks that were removed, and some of this piping in there is obsolete, redundant. There's 80 feet of it that has a tendency to break, so we're going to be replacing that. And you hardly even notice any spike in the water usage because they were flushing hydrants at the time. And I did call Gary Phillips to let him know, the liaison to the water department in the village. And I sent out an email. I'm not so sure it went through. I sent out an email to everybody on the village board. Sewer. Tonight, Jimmy, when I was outside my house, stopped by my house on his way over to Pump Station 3, which is over on Overlook. There was a pump over there. We've had 3 15 horsepower pumps go bad because of the storm and other matters this year, and that was one of them. There was a problem with it. He was on his way over. He was going to let me know if TAM needed to be called out or not. And I read off the flow report at the last meeting. I don't have it yet for the month of October. Next meeting I will. The Citizens Environmental Advisory Committee. Last Friday we Zoomed and we discussed goals for 2024. an Earth Day ideas, a nice big repair cafe for Earth Day, signs at the Ford charging station, letting people know that they're there so they get more used, that those don't cost us a dime. They haven't cost us a dime for installation or anything. Some upgrades to the web page and membership. Did I miss anything, Olga? Is Olga back there? Okay. Veterans Day. So I didn't make the ceremony at O'Neill. I wanted to. I hiked the Torrent twice that day. Because on my way down the first time, there was a detachment of MPs from Fort Drum that were hiking up there. There were like 50 guys carrying the American flag. So I felt compelled to follow them back up there. There's a nice little monument up there. So that's kind of how I spent my Veterans Day. And I didn't make it down in time to get up to O'Neill by 9 o'clock. I understand that was a good ceremony too. With the historian's office, I don't talk about that office as much as I should. So yesterday I attended a lecture starring Ronnie Coffey as she spoke about the PIPC and Bear Mountain history. She's written 4 local books. I think 2 of them are on Bear Mountain and Harriman Park. There was a crowd of over 75 people. There were 8 people there that I recognized. The lecture is at the Woodbury Senior Center. And the Woodbury Historical Society president is Alex Przintis, who came here and lectured about milk bottles at the library about 6 months ago, and the dairy history. A very interesting speaker. He's the president of the Woodbury Historical Society, and Alex and Ronnie Coffey are spearheading a collaborative effort with the Woodbury and Highlands Historical Society, putting forth some wonderful programs, and we'll be sharing resources and programs. So I asked Ronnie, because I'm a member of the battle site, but I asked her about the membership for the Historical Society. It's a great organization. These sit-and chats are attached to them and whatnot. Really get a lot out of these things. So there's an application you can fill out, and I think for an individual it's $12 a year. For a family, it's $15 per year. Then there's sponsors, patrons, and benefactors. And you return the form filled out to the Historical Society up at 303, which is Village Hall, right? 303, I think, is Village Hall, Main Street. So there's what the application looks like. If you're looking to do something fun and rewarding, I would highly recommend it. And with the building department for the month of October, we had 24 permit applications were received, 26 permits were issued. There were 11 certificates of compliance, 41 building permit inspections, 11 fire safety inspections. Those are done mostly by Lincoln Tully. 10 violation notices were issued, 7 municipal searches were completed, 1 zoning variance application received, and there were 16 FOIL requests. Some of those requests were pretty extensive. And hope I didn't miss anything. That's it.
I don't think you missed anything. The Veterans Day ceremony at the high school, I attended that. And I'd just like to mention that Joe Collalori, who was the speaker, did a tremendous job. I'm really proud of him. Joe and I grew up together as kids in West Haverstraw. He lived 1 block away from me, and we went through all our schools and what have you then. And talking about a small world, we both ended up in Vietnam. He took a beating in Vietnam, and I didn't, but that's a good thing. But Joe is still here and reminding us of the service and the thank yous that we need to give the veterans. Anyway, it was a real nice ceremony. And you know what impressed me the most? Maybe it's small to some people. The Star Spangled Banner was played by a violinist from the school, and she was tremendous. That was really, really special.
That was John Flynn's daughter.
John Flynn's daughter? Wow. Thank you. I can always count on you to throw in this little
What's her
stuff.
name, MJ?
Grace, she was amazing.
Grace,
Yeah.
Grace Flynn?
It was a nice touch.
I mean, as she played, you could sing it to yourself. I mean, that's how nice it was. I'm sure Nancy probably sang it to herself. Okay, let me see now. Got that. This Friday, possibly, depending on the inspection by our building department, the folks in front that were evacuated from Wine Green may be moving back into their apartments. It has to do with the inspection on Wednesday, which we're kind of thinking is going to happen because I think he was down there Friday. They are in dire need of help for the older folks there. What I guess Wine Green is going to do is they're going to empty the pods into the apartments where they belong, but they're not going to be placing the furniture, putting it anywhere, cleaning it or anything like that. They need help. If anybody has got time, give Sally Dorsch a call. If anybody has a truck and some people that can handle a hospital bed, I guess there's a gentleman from Wine Green that when he moved to the hotel, they moved him with you're shaking your head, you know about who he is and everything? Could you,
He just needs help with his hospital equipment and hospital bed.
okay. And is that big enough for a pickup truck, do you know?
Yes. Well, it depends. Like, my pickup truck is small, and it's a small bed, so it needs to be a bigger pickup truck.
Okay, so.
Where does the bed have to be moved from where to where? You know?
We're gonna find out.
Okay. I'll be
We
down
ordered it
there.
early enough, but, since we didn't get the pods in time, back at the disaster relief stage of things, somebody else, another organization was holding it for us for veterans, so we're gonna find out from them, when can we get it back over here?
I'm not worried that my phone's not gonna ring.
Okay, let me see, is that all I had, Sally Doors Wednesday?
Dial bus.
All right, we'll get into the,
When are we gonna do dial bus? The dial bus information, is that down the road?
okay, I thought that was in my agenda, but it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not. I'm going to ask the board's permission for me to sign an intermunicipal agreement. This agreement will allow our dial-a-bus to go to Monroe, the shopping centers, restaurants, retail food establishments or similar locations on Saturdays from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. This agreement is valid for 2 years and may be extended or terminated with mutual agreement of both parties. So this is the Saturday dial-a-bus run. Do I have a motion to approve the supervisor
Motion.
signing this? Motion, second. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I guess Tiffany was telling me today that they had the first outing with the new driver. I forget his name, I apologize. It was really successful, better than their Vales Gate run, so I guess they said that with this agreement, they're gonna try to keep that up. A lot of people were using it, so.
Supervisor,
Thanks.
can you make sure I get a copy, please?
Yes. And you got a copy of something that was hidden in my computer, the agreement with ambulance.
Oh, yeah, I stole a copy, thank you.
I sent that off to you.
I never had it.
They're doing a run this Saturday too, I believe, November 18th.
They can, I mean.
I think it's on the
we're gonna
schedule.
sign it.
That's the flyer, I forgot. But if anybody wants information about using dial-a-bus this Saturday, call the dial-a-bus number. It's on the website, or you can talk to Tiffany up at the town garage. Thank you.
Now, Richie, you may be familiar with this, and you can butt in whenever you want, but everyone knows that Mine Dock Road has this big pieces of sheet metal across where the culvert is supposed to be. There was a big mix-up in ordering that culvert and getting the culvert in and what have you, but I think we're finally getting to a place where we're okay. Now, we asked DEC, we need a permit from DEC to put a culvert in and to mess around with the stream. Once we get notification that they have approved us, we have 30 days to get it taken care of. We got their approval, which I can't believe we got it so quick. I mean, it was like a week. We got their approval. I got to check with Gary to see if he talked to Lankin Tully about putting it out to bid. Or if that's what they're doing. I'm not sure if that's what they're doing, or is Brian and Tam going to do it, do you know?
Yeah, I think it was part of the emergency
Part of the
work that
oh,
was
okay.
approved.
Okay, okay, so now
it was
we don't
just
need
waiting
it.
for the piece to come in, but it was necessitated by the
Well,
storm
they hadn't ordered the
emergency.
piece because of a snafu.
Understood.
But anyway, I think it's all squared away. Am I right, Rich?
For the most, you're more in tune with the FEMA stuff than I am, but yes.
Okay. Okay, on your agenda, I have, oh, no, I got a couple more things. Kelly, bands.
So we sold our vans this week, our bond anticipation notes. That was $4 million, and we got a rate of 4.75%. And our first interest payment in 2024 will be $190,000. And I don't have the principal payment yet, I don't have the table from them. So that's good, I think that we budgeted well for that.
And just a brief explanation, or Justin, you can jump in. Ban goes to bonds, the
Anticipation.
process?
So the ban is a bond anticipation note. That's a borrowing that's short-term, it has to be repaid in a year, but you can borrow it again. And then once the project is completed and we know the total amount that we need to borrow, they'll all roll over into one bond.
And so we'll be paying a payment on one bond for the next 20, 30 years,
Right.
something like that. Okay. And any update on FEMA? Anything new?
We have a meeting scheduled November 30th with FEMA again in the Department of Homeland Security. They sent Gary and I a few emails today for some damage inventory updates that Gary and I will do tomorrow morning. He's coming over to my office. Our damage inventory deadline is November 19th. So once we hit it, we can't change the damage inventory anymore after November 19th. So Gary and I are finalizing that tomorrow.
Okay. Now on the agenda, we have this ALA intercept agreement with the town of Highlands Ambulance Corps and Empress Ambulance Service. I called our captain, and he told me to hold off on this because they're still negotiating it. So I won't even bother reading the agreement or anything, but the ALS, they intercept, if we have somebody with a severe heart attack or what have you, they'll intercept that person either on site or halfway over the mountain or wherever they need to get, and they hop onto our ambulance and go along with that. If they, obviously, if they pick it up here, then they use their own ambulance. So anyway, we don't have an agreement with them, and we'll just table that. Oh, and an agreement between Monroe and Highlands, Mine Dock Culvert Permit. Justin, I have a letter from Nugent McCarthy concerning Cherry Street, and the owner wants to meet with us.
Yes. I'm playing email tag with Mr. Honan. He's trying to coordinate dates that might work for his side, his engineer and his team. I've told them that basically most mornings, the supervisor and the highway department are available. So if they give us 2 or 3 days, we'll have a meeting with them to discuss. They will be making certain improvements to a portion of Cherry Street, and so it's a broader conversation to see whether there can be a coordinated approach and some better improvements made for the residents.
Okay, so you're handling that in the meeting and scheduling?
Trying to get us a date, yep.
Okay, okay. Then finally, there's a resolution to schedule a public hearing for the revocation of a towing license. The public hearing will be held on the license revocation at the Town Hall Main Street, Highland Falls, at 7 o'clock on November 27th, at which time all interested parties will be heard. The public may also submit comments to be received by 5 p.m. on November the 27th. Attention Town Board. I'll ask for a motion to move the resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Aye.
Councilmember Yeager?
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay?
Aye. Justin, do you need this letter from the attorney?
No, we literally just emailed again today, yeah, but
Oh, okay.
he's been sending you the paper copies and just copying me by email.
Public comment on
This
anything?
for Bob?
Yes.
Olga Anderson, on Dior Park. As Councilman Sullivan said, we've been talking about trying to get some improved signage for the existing EV charging stations. The company that owns those and installed them, Green Spot, they're willing to do all of the work. They're willing to pay for the signs and get them installed. So with the board's permission, I'd like to go ahead and work with Tiffany and Gary to identify suitable sites around town that will allow drivers coming through to know that those charging stations are there. We need to improve utilization there. But once we can get a few of those sites identified with Gary and Tiffany, then I could give that to Green Spot, and they'll work up a proposal for getting those signs installed. So I'd just like the board's okay to go ahead and do that.
Is the board okay with them?
And talking to them, Gary's just trying to, he's had FEMA up to his neck, but Tiffany was talking about it today.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think he's just trying to get ahead of the 8 ball with the FEMA stuff. But they were telling me about it today,
Okay.
about to get the signage up to have more awareness about the spots. So,
Yeah, so Tiffany has had some ideas already, which were really good ideas, so if we can flesh those ideas out and get Gary to approve them,
Yeah.
we'll be good to go
By all
pretty
means.
soon. But it'll take a month or two to turn all that around.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, once you find this, where you want to put the signs and what have you, then come back to us and we'll approve the signs being put in the circle.
Good enough. All right, thanks.
Rather than just saying, yeah, you can.
All
be
right,
better.
sure, all right, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
thanks, Olga.
Public comment, anybody else?
Yes. Okay, I'm speaking on behalf of the Old Oak tonight. The woman has come, she's almost bankrupt. Today, she's just holding on by a shoestring. I don't think this is what the town's people want, but looks like it's gonna happen. She's up to $40,000 in paving and striping and engineering to produce 11 parking spots. This will allow her just so she can just sell pizza. After rebuilding this structure to 23 codes, it was found out that it was an oversight that she didn't have a CO. Well, if it was an oversight, I'm curious to see why we would be making her come to current codes. Nonetheless, this was discovered after 8 years of letting her operate. They're being forced to do a ton of work in that place. She's just about broke. And now I have another problem because this doesn't make sense to me. I was told when a planning board meeting, and by the way, those guys are great, they're terrific, that once a board makes a decision, it can't be reversed. Well, if that parcel had additional parking at one time and it was taking off of that parcel because the additional parking was sold to or connected to a sold parcel and they made a lot line change, that means that the council or the planning board at that time approved and said, okay, then we have enough parking, it's good. Obviously, we wouldn't make a decision to shut down the business. So that means she had sufficient parking. Nonetheless, she had to go before the board and get all new parking, spending money on this, that, and the other, which shouldn't have to be done because she should already be either grandfathered or there was a lot line change that was approved by the town, or the lot line change was done illegally. I can't see what way it went. But nonetheless, we also had a problem a few years ago where I ran into somebody who was buying a parking lot next to their establishment, very cheap, and I exposed that, and before the end of that meeting, it was decided that that parking was going to remain public parking as a municipal parking lot so that the existing businesses in the town could survive and remain in business. The only business that's really able to utilize this seems to be Little Richie's. Now, that might not be the case. I do see some cars for American Burrito. Now, if that is the case, it might make sense to sell it. I mean, let's get a rateable out of it. Sell it, get a rateable. They have parking. It's been existing for years and years, so they'll survive. The other place will survive, or else give them parking, let them open their restaurant. And also, she told me that the building inspector, she said, when can I move back in? The woman was almost in tears when I met her. The building inspector said, you will never live in this building again. Is this what we do to our businesses in town? We drive them out of town, take the parking, we don't let anybody use it, and just put the people out of business. Then we don't have rateables. People say, oh, raise the taxes. Drive the business out, raise the taxes. Something doesn't work. So anyway, I think we need to kind of cover that. So I guess that's about it. But I think something needs to be done. If she can't use the parking, and you can't open the restaurant, you can't open the bar, then sell the damn thing. So we have a rateable, we can get money out of it, and we can stop going it this way. We can't do this. The woman can't survive. That's supposed to keep us in business. If we're not gonna let the people use it to keep their businesses open, sell it. Let's get somebody else in there to make money so we have money to run the town. I have 2 full books of stuff I gotta come back. The next 2 things I'm going to expose to this town are not going to be good. Some really stupid things happened which cost this town a fortune. I will be bringing that up at the next meeting. Good night.
Anyone else? Public comment? Anybody? Sure. I'm not sure what you mailed me.
Yeah, it's about the holiday. Go get up there. It's public comment, please. Feel
Yeah,
free to,
yeah, you can say anything you
you
want.
can say whatever you want. That's-
Obviously, you can say anything you want.
Hello, everybody.
I do.
I'm Dee Dee. I sent a request into the town. I wasn't expecting to talk about it tonight. I was just here to watch the meeting. About requesting dial-a-bus services for Saturday for the holiday hop. Mainly because we want to involve Fort Montgomery businesses, which I've already spoken to, and they would love to be a part of it. But also, speaking with some of our seniors, they'd like to get around for the holiday hop. So they would like to see if we can maybe figure out some type of transportation. And I thought maybe I'd go this route first and then find out if there was a way we can utilize that service, if there's a cost involved or something. And that was basically the request.
Yeah, actually, if you get time, stop by the town garage, talk to Tiffany.
I did.
You know Tiffany?
Yeah.
If Tiffany thinks that she can work it, get a driver, I'm sure this town board will go along with whatever it comes up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I spoke to her, and then my next step was to send you an official request.
Okay, good, very good.
Is there information out about the holiday hop yet?
Yes.
Plenty? Okay. I
And,
haven't seen it.
no, it's on social media, it's gonna be on the channel, the public access channel soon. And then, I actually just sent Bobby an email about, advertising officially in the paper.
So if I go on to my Facebook and
Facebook. yeah.
dial holiday hop, Highland, kind of Highlands, Highland Falls, I'll find it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the town of, Highlands is added on as a co-host because of the, you guys sponsoring the insurance for us this
Great.
year.
Okay. Thanks.
I think Aaron accepted already.
All right, cool.
Anyone else? Going, gone.
Just a quick comment.
Yes.
So I'm very glad, I'm sorry Mr. Miller left. I'm very glad he kept it civil. That's fine, he can say anything he wants. I would challenge when he said that the building inspector told someone they'll never live somewhere again. I'll say publicly that I don't believe that. Whatever, if he can assert that, that's fine. When Jim Modlin got elected, he and I went down with Providence, that's the name of the woman who owns the Old Oak, and we sat down, she treated us to a little bit of food. I hope that's not some type of bribe, I think it was under $75, so I think we're safe there. But anyway, Jim was big on we need business and whatnot, and to try and make it happen. Let me digress to the planning board. The planning board normally has in attendance professionals that are being paid between $200 and $400 an hour, and it's serious business. Lawyers, engineers, there's no reason for the taxpayers to have to pay for those consultants because the town has to review it. You can't just have them assert something and not review it. So they pay escrow fees. With Providence, 3 times since I've been on this board, she has been allowed to go to planning board meetings informally, no charge. And I will tell you, hope I don't get sued for engineering without a license, we looked at the charts, the parking, the restaurant seating, all that, gave that to her for free, and told her some of the things she had to do, and she came to the planning board. I digress again. That building caught on fire, and there was almost death in that building. We awarded a police officer merit, and the reason it caught on fire is because of the state of disrepair that it was in. That's as much as I'll say about that publicly. I'm going to go back to the original owner, Mrs. Colby, and then Mary Therese, and now Lisa Hanson. That was all one parcel at one time. It was the same owner that owned the property, but the restaurant belonged to Tony Coley. They had a feud. So the parking lot to the north has a big sign on the rock saying no parking because of that feud. And if you go to the south, I'm not going to bring it up publicly, there may not be as much land there as you might think. And I'll finish by saying, in my youth, everybody parked on 9W. That's how we parked. Bevan Lynn's, they all parked on 9W. They didn't even use that lot for that stuff. So 10, 12 parking spaces, it's tough to get in and out of. We're going out of our way to help them. And without getting any more trouble, because I know a lot more, I'm just going to say, we're trying. We have, and we will continue to. And that's my statement on the Old Oak.
I agree with you. I agree.
But just to add to that too, again, as you see, people say things, what was the context? If things were said like he said, was there more sentences attached to it? Was it, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's easy to take a snippet of something and state it out of context to try to make somebody look bad. And that's a big problem where people who don't have either their facts correct will say things to make themselves look better, will make other people, try to make other people look bad. And that's not a fair thing to do. That's, again, it's not the facts.
Yeah.
So you get the facts to the table. I mean, obviously, we have a planning and zoning boards that will work with you. And it's that simple. Nobody's trying
But
to
so
keep
long as
anybody
they're
out of business.
presented
which is-
civilly, bring
Yeah,
it on.
bring
We're
it
here to
on.
answer those questions, just keep it civil. And I want to have a little Fort Montgomery pride moment here for a moment. Let's go south down Rivercrest Hill. Bosch's Garage, extremely successful business. You go down, you have Fort Fitness, you have Fort Storage. They took a big hit during the storm, but they're still kicking. And that's a new business, as is Fort Fitness. The Holiday Inn's 20 years old. Did you know there's another Holiday Inn building approved to go on that site the same size? Has been for years. They haven't built it yet, and they keep on getting continuations. There's a restaurant apportioned on that property. Hasn't been approved yet, but the subdivision for it is there. There might be a future restaurant there. Bagel Cafe is empty. That's a little bit of a problem. Don't tell anybody I said this, but that might make a great dispensary in the future. As we go forward going south, you go down to the delicatessen down there, is the most successful delicatessen in the area, along with ice cream. And Bear Mountain Pizza is on its way back, and we will be there for them, and then you have your restaurant. I think it's a great stretch of businesses, and that's my report.
You missed Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm sorry, Dunkin' Donuts, I'm sorry, that too.
And there are a lot next to them that they're looking
That's
for.
right, so I think the planning board, our master plan, all that is a success in that stretch of road, and that's how I feel about it.
Thank you. I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss police personnel and the towing ordinance.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We will not be coming back to the meeting after the